Let's talk about something that really gets me laughing. French bulldogs. Now, if you've ever seen one of these little guys, you know they're not just dogs. They're like the comedians of the canine world. They've got that goofy look, those big eyes, and a personality that could light up a whole room. But let me tell you, owning a French bulldog is like having a toddler who's constantly on a sugar high. The appearance of French bulldogs. First off, let's talk about how they look. French bulldogs are like little muscle-bound creatures with faces that look like they just woke up from a nap. You ever see one of these dogs? They've got that flat face that makes you wonder if they're always surprised or just perpetually confused. It's like someone took a bulldog and said, "Let's make it smaller and give it an attitude problem." And those ears. You've got to love those bat-like ears that stand straight up. They look like they're ready to take flight at any moment. You ever see a French bulldog perk up when it hears something? It's like they're tuning into the Doggy News Network. Breaking news! Someone just opened a bag of chips 3 houses down. The personality. Now let's get into their personalities. French bulldogs are energetic little goofballs. They've got more energy than I do after 3 cups of coffee. You think you're just gonna sit on the couch and relax? Nope. Here comes your French bulldog, bouncing off the walls like it just discovered sugar for the first time. What do you mean we're not going for a walk? I need to burn off this energy. And let me tell you about their stubbornness. These little guys are like tiny dictators. You ask them to do something, and they look at you like, "Yeah, I'll get right on that after I finish this nap." It's like living with a furry little roommate who has no respect for your authority. You want me to sit? How about I just lay here and look adorable instead? The barking factor. Now let's talk about barking. French bulldogs have this unique bark that sounds like a mix between a squeaky toy and an alarm clock going off at 6 a.m. You ever hear one bark? It's not just loud, it's piercing. And they don't just bark at anything, they'll bark at shadows, leaves blowing in the wind, or even their own reflection. What is that? Is that me? Am I cute? But here's the kicker. Once they realize it's just the mailman delivering your bills, they go from guard dog mode to cuddle mode in seconds flat. 1 minute they're barking like they're defending the house from an army, and the next minute they're snuggled up on your lap as if nothing happened. The exercise needs. Let's talk about exercise for a second. If you think owning a French bulldog means leisurely strolls around the block, you better think again. These dogs need exercise like I need my morning coffee, desperately. A quick walk won't cut it. They need to run around until they collapse from exhaustion. And if you live in an apartment, good luck. You might as well start looking for a house with a yard, because these little tornadoes will turn your living room into their personal racetrack if they don't get enough exercise. 1 minute you're watching TV, the next minute you're dodging flying furniture as your French bulldog decides it's time for an indoor marathon. The food dilemma. Speaking of energy, let's talk about food. French bulldogs can eat. If you think you're going to feed them some fancy gourmet dog food and call it a day, you better think again. These dogs look at their food bowl like it's an appetizer before the main course. You ever catch them staring at you while you're eating dinner? It's like having a tiny furry judge sitting there critiquing your meal. Really? That's what we're having tonight? And if they don't get their share? Oh boy, you'll hear about it. The loyalty factor. But here's what really gets me. Their loyalty is unmatched. Once they bond with you, it's like having your own personal bodyguard. Except this bodyguard weighs about 20 pounds and thinks every stranger is there to steal your snacks. You could be sitting on the couch watching TV, and suddenly your French bulldog is right there next to you, ready to protect you from whatever danger lurks outside. Like that squirrel that dared to cross your lawn. What do you mean I can't chase it? That thing is plotting against us. The quirks now. Let's talk about their quirks, because French bulldogs have plenty. For starters, they have this weird way of sleeping where they look half dead, but somehow still manage to snore louder than my Uncle Larry after Thanksgiving dinner. You ever see one of these dogs sleeping? Their legs are all over the place, like they're dreaming about running marathons while lying on the couch. And then there are those moments when they suddenly decide it's time to run around in circles for no apparent reason. One minute they're calm, the next minute they're sprinting around the house like they've just been shot out of a cannon. What are we doing? Why are we running? The social butterfly. Take them out in public, and suddenly it's like having a celebrity by your side. Everyone wants to stop and pet them. Oh my God, look at that cute little guy. Meanwhile, your French Bulldog is soaking up all the attention like it's on stage at Madison Square Garden. Yes, thank you. I'm available for selfies. But here's where it gets interesting. While they love being social with humans, other dogs? Not so much. You ever see a French Bulldog meet another dog? It's either love at first sight or total chaos. One minute they're sniffing each other, the next minute they're barking and trying to establish dominance over who gets to claim the best spot on the couch. The training challenges. Now let's address training these little furballs, because training a French Bulldog is an adventure in itself. They're smart, but also incredibly stubborn, like trying to teach calculus to a goldfish. You might find yourself repeating commands until your voice goes hoarse. Sit, stay, roll over. And all they hear is blah, blah, blah treat. And when they finally decide to listen, oh man, it feels like winning an Olympic gold medal. You're jumping up and down saying things like, yes, you did it. Now where's my treat? Meanwhile, your dog is thinking, great, now where's my belly rub? The health concerns. Now let's get real for a second. French Bulldogs have some health issues too. Those adorable flat faces come with some complications. Breathing problems? Yeah, that's part of owning one of these cuties. You ever hear one breathing hard after running around for 5 minutes? It sounds like someone just ran a marathon. You start getting worried. Is he okay? Should I call someone? But then he looks up at you with those big eyes as if to say, chill out, human, I'm fine. And then he goes back to snoring louder than ever. Conclusion. So folks, if you're thinking about getting a French Bulldog or already have one, embrace the chaos. Enjoy those moments when they're barking at shadows or trying to eat your shoes, because that's what makes life interesting. In conclusion, French Bulldogs may not be perfect. They may shed fur everywhere and have more energy than most humans. But they bring joy and laughter into our lives in ways we never imagined possible. So let's raise our glasses, or dog bowls, to these incredible creatures that remind us every day how fun, and sometimes chaotic, life can be. Thank you all for being here. Remember to hug your French Bulldog when you get home.